Hello, dear friend, from my heart to yours. So, less than 3 weeks ago, I had a terrible accident, a domestic accident, and broke it's called the femoral hip, but it's really the top of my femur, top of my right leg. And I thought it would be a really nice thing to share, to do a mind stiller about the recovery process, about what it feels like to accept when there's adversity or a challenge going on, and to participate on a conscious level and a very balanced level of effort and ease, just like we do when we practice any of the disciplines like yoga or martial arts, the breath, all that. So if you're dealing with anything, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, or economic, or romantic, or just the pandemic getting on your nerves, this journey, hopefully today, will help you have some relief. So many people tell me they're having a hard time, and we can do something to relieve our own stresses. That's why we meditate. That's why we journey into a place where the mind is calm, even though around us may be very disturbed, very challenged, very even filled with virus and troubles and economic hardships, racial disturbances, wars, turbulence, tsunamis, hurricanes. You name it, we get it, right? Because that's what being alive on earth is all about. We have to go through this experience and take what comes, and still, those of us who are on the spiritual journey, maintain that connection to our higher being, our higher state, where we have the choice to see that this is not something to just be endured, life on earth, but it is the vehicle by which we attain freedom from feeling in distress. So let's just carefully, with conscious choice, tune into our breath, as we always do when we're going into these different modes of consciousness that release us from the stressful ones, the day-to-day hardships. And we can do this any time of day. We don't have to have one special time. We can just take a few moments out of any time of life and tune into our breath. The breath is the vehicle. It's almost like an express train from the material world, where we have a lot of disturbances, a lot of challenges, a lot of hardships, and we can tune into something higher by just following our breath and by choosing to get into that realm of thinking with no thought. It's using our mind for something else besides analyzing and thinking and even talking. So those of you who want to tune out of listening to what I'm saying, that's great. Just be with the breath. Breathe in and fill your lungs, and then release them. And you'll find your own pace. It doesn't have to be a certain count. It doesn't have to have any hardship, whatever. It's just breathing. That's what we do. All of us breathe. But we're doing it consciously. And we're actually watching as the breath. If the breath had color, we would see it coming in like golden light, filling us with consciousness. And as we let go of the breath, we can pretend it's got another color, like pink. pink for love going out into the world, letting our own experience of self-love join with the rest of whatever's happening out there. Breathing in and releasing, and watching the breath and seeing it still, our physical being, and our thoughts become stilled. No longer are they disturbed and the hyperventilation of being disturbed. We have the ability to calm ourselves through the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Maintain this nice rhythm. Make it regular. Same amount of time breath in, same amount of time breath out. And just imagine one thing that brings you a challenge, an adversity. It could be somebody who's bugging you. It could be something that's not the way you want it to be. Just bring it into your consciousness, and that'll be the analogy of me having a broken bone. There's something that is not right in our lives. And don't try to reject it. Just bring it into the beautiful light of consciousness that we're dealing with when we go into this mode of relating to life, which is from a higher place besides analytical thinking or expressing opinions. Just bring it in. And whatever it is, whether it's a person, place, or thing, in my case, it's my broken bone, I'm surrounding it with the light of consciousness, which just glimmers like a spotlight if you close your eyes, and especially if you're really watching what's going on the inside screen of your life as the breath calms everything. You see that there's a lot of light within. It's not like necessarily a light show. It's not necessarily fireworks. It's just light. It's not like being in a dark closet. But the consciousness that we are igniting with our breath and merging with, because we're stilling our mind, is like shining a flashlight into a dark closet. So just imagine that, if you will, that you are in your conscious state within, and now you're bringing in that one person, place, or thing, just one. You can bring others later if you wish. Just one. And you're surrounding it with this flashlight of beautiful, white, glistening, effervescent light. And it's all powerful. This light can heal. This light can comfort. This light can make right that which is not feeling right, without any other way of being. No talking, no figuring out, just the light. Bring that light that the breath illuminates within, not outside. It's within. So yes, you have to have your eyes closed. Please close your eyes and just enjoy this sensation of the light of consciousness. You may only catch a glimmer of it at first, and the more you practice, stilling everything else except that light and the one thing that we're working on today to heal, to make right. The more we do this, the more success, the more progress, the more serenity, the more contentment you will feel. And in my case, with the broken bone, spectacular healing. I mean, I am in my 70s and I have healed from this terrible broken femur that has nuts and bolts and screws in it in less than 3 weeks. I am going to drive. I'm going to continue my healing. This is a good time to think of an affirmation with whatever it is that you have brought into that closet. That's an imaginary closet, because when you close your eyes, it's mostly dark, but the light of consciousness is shining in your closet with that beacon of light that is ignited awareness, consciousness, because we have willed it so. We want to be more conscious. And I am healing, and you are resolving whatever issue you brought into your consciousness. Perhaps it's a person who really hurt you. Send love to them. Surround them with this light of love. Surround a broken heart with love. Surround a broken government issue, a broken economic issue, a broken health issue. Whatever issue you're bringing in, it's temporary. It's not going to last forever. It's either going to get better, which is why we're doing this exercise, or if you don't give it some energy, some healing energy, it could possibly get worse. Whenever I feel I've been exposed to some illness, whether it's a fear of cancer, because I used to smoke, or a fear of COVID, because I've been in contact with people, I do this exercise of shining that light of consciousness. First, really making sure I have that light of consciousness ignited and going strong. And then I go up and down my body, like as if I'm scanning my entire being very slowly. And if I feel there's some disruption to my physical being, in this case I have a broken bone, so yes, it's obvious, but in a case of cancer, sometimes I think, well, maybe there's a little cell of a mischievous cancer cell that wants to grow too much. I will shine my light and say, okay, let's nip it in the bud. Let's catch that imbalance of the physical before it manifests as an actual disease. We all have cancer cells within our beings. Sometimes people who have the so-called illness of cancer, their cells have grown too wild and crazy, and the T cells that keep them in balance have become weakened. Your immune system can't deal with the battle. And you can help your physical health and heal from anything with shining your light. Whether it's outside of your body, outside of your own power, you have the connection with your mental, spiritual power to heal anything at any time. The breath makes our light shine so bright. The breath is like a supercharger, a super generator of our innate and all-powerful psychic energy. It's not just some people who have this power. Every single person alive has this ability, if they choose to work with it. I choose to work with it. I choose to show you how I work with it. I offer that as my gift to you. Stay in this state as long as you feel comfortable, and it becomes stronger. And when you're ready to come back to your normal consciousness, just say, it's okay. Maybe even a phone call will interrupt you, and it's no big deal. You just, hello? I'm back to my normal life. We have these powers within us. Every single one of us is a super person. Be well, my friends. And I shall continue to be well and to heal and to share with you my journey. I hope it helps with whatever you're going through. Until next time, I'm going to take my little clicker and click off.